Okay, and we're live. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Good to see
Oh,
everybody here. We're going to be, of course, recording a best of three today. Best of three.
I'm noticing some new art behind you.
Yeah, yeah. I
What you
decided to
got there?
get to go nice and Toronto home.
Oh, that's cool. I like the style though.
I like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got this whole like over under thing, like this
right,
darkness
right,
and
right.
light. Yeah.
Because yeah, like I looked at a lot of Toronto art and I was like, a lot of this looks very, I want to say almost like touristy, or it's just too much.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work as art, but I really like that piece. So it's nice.
It is really nice. I like it when it's not like super imposing. That's why the
Hmm.
simplistic kind of style is my jam.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
It's coming together, man.
it's coming together. I feel like I have a frame now. Like I'm looking over at my frame and I'm like, you know what, this is pretty full. All it's
Yeah, this is
missing
good.
is some lights, and I can easily
Ooh.
accomplish this by pressing a button. Oh, it's still not very great. Maybe if I just put it like that. That's a little better.
You could see it. You could see
You
it.
see it
It's
on the
there.
on the
It's there.
frame. It's nice. On YouTube, it looks okay.
Yeah.
On our screen, it's just like, ew, yuck. What's going on underneath there?
Oh man. So how's your week been?
Good, good. We can start the podcast. I'll intro the people. Hi, everybody on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Hello.
let's get into this. This is Best of Three podcast. Everybody is recording. You're recording.
I am.
Great,
That I am.
great. This is Best of Three podcast where we talk about the LCS and Pokemon Unite because we can talk about it, we just can't show it. So, so there.
I saw some people break that rule.
Oh, people have been breaking that rule left, right, and center. All right, here we go.
Definitely saw some people. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Best of Three, a competitive esports podcast. Wait, no. This is something that I wanted to change. This is what I wanted to change. I remember this. I had this written down in front of me on my little notepad.
We'll try this one more time.
Here we go. Hello and welcome to Best of Three, a podcast made in esports. I am Mike, and of course, I'm joined with the one and only Alex Kim. Alex, how you doing today?
Great. Hanging out as always.
Yeah. When was the last time you left? Oh, you have a dog, so you get to leave your
Yeah, I
house.
get to walk the dog, but the last time I like went out for a reason was probably I took my dog to the vet.
Oh,
Another
that's
dog related thing. Yeah.
always dog related.
Yeah. It
I,
seems to be the only thing these days.
I mean, I haven't been able to get outside kind of at all. I think the first time I'm going outside for a long time is tomorrow. The only place that I go is to my kids' daycare in the morning, which I don't classify as outside. It's not fresh air when you're when you're breathing kid. Anyway,
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
someday, Alex, someday.
Yeah.
Now it's a new week. It is the beginning of March for us, just to date the podcast, and so it's interesting because I feel like with it being tax time, there isn't a whole lot that goes on with regards to like competitive gaming, but what
Mm,
goes on behind the scenes is kind of the most important thing right now because tax time just
definitely.
happened. Now everybody's like resetting, they're going over the next fiscal year. And so today we wanted to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to be talking about the LCS because there's some stuff going down with that. And then we're also going to be speaking about Pokemon Unite. Um,
A
Alex, have you been able to play Pokemon Unite?
little bit. I played like the tutorials in like two games, but yeah.
That's not enough games. I don't worry,
I'm
I've been
sure
playing
you
enough
played a lot
Pokemon
more,
Unite for the
so
both of us. Yeah.
excellent, excellent.
But first, let's talk a little bit about Amuka. Alex,
Hey.
tell me a little bit about what's going on at Amuka.
Well, we do have an e-NASCAR team. If For those of you who don't know out there, we have an e-NASCAR team called HPM, High Performance Motorsports.
Nice.
And we actually had Nick on the podcast
Yes, we did.
on an earlier episode, and he really shed some light on iRacing and e-NASCAR, which is actually quite different than actual road racing. So than track cars and things like that. These are sort of they just go in a circle, but a little bit different. So they are in E-Racers Car Anomaly 500 tonight.
Car Anomaly 500 is a great name
Car
for a thing.
Anomaly 500. It's really cool, actually. It's sort of over the course of many weeks. They have a bunch of qualifiers, and you can win. I believe there's like a total purse of like $15,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got our HPM cars in there tonight, and they're racing for $3,000.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's
And like what do I need to know about HPM's side of things? Like what do they
H.
have? What do they do?
They, to be honest, when I see them, it's all very, very minute differences, you know?
Really?
Yeah, like the littlest things make, uh, even a half second difference in time is a huge, huge amount of time. So unless you're unless you're really attuned to those kind of mechanics and like those tuner details, those things might be a little bit harder for you. But if you enjoy NASCAR, if you enjoy some, racing, definitely I would recommend checking it out. It's going to be a big event, and there's a lot of hype around it.
That's
Yeah, so
interesting.
very big in that world.
Man, with iRacing, even after having spoken with Nick, I feel like I'm still so far detached from the iRacing community. Like
Yeah.
I if I were to look at a rig right now, I would probably have the same kind of internal dialogue as somebody who like some businessman whose like last game they played was on the Atari, like trying to play with VR for the first time. They're like, so wait, you
Oh,
can hold these things and wave it and it'll move in the same way in the game. Like for me, I'm looking at the rig, I'm like, so I hold the wheel and I press the thing. I know how to drive, but when I do that, it moves the car in the game question mark.
the setups are crazy because I think the weirdest part about it is that it looks like you're in a car,
Hmm.
but it doesn't feel like you're in a car. And like you don't have the G's, you don't have like the body roll and stuff like that, and that's what really throws me off when I'm in one of those
Right.
rigs.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only other place that you do anything like that is like at an arcade where they have those things set up, and those things are set up to be like the full immersive like 4D experience. Like
The
they'll
speakers
blast
behind
wind at
you
you
and
and
yeah.
speakers. Yeah, they're moving your seat as you're going. You know, like it's a whole thing versus like actual rigs where stability is key, so they don't inject all
Of
of that
course.
those things. Uh,
Yeah.
like how much of my room would I need to section off if
A
I
lot.
really?
Like more space than your computer set up right now with behind you and everything, like more than
Wow,
that. Because
wow.
you're looking at you need a pretty decent PC. You're looking at a 3 monitor setup probably. You have a seat, you have a steering wheel, pedals, and like all of that. So like it's yeah, you need like half a car, right? Something like that. Like
Can I fit half a car into my tiny little recording space over here? I don't know. I don't know.
sorry, I'll give it a quarter of a car. You don't have a front passenger. So like
Oh,
a
okay, that's
quarter of a
fair.
car. Like yeah.
But what if I want to bring someone along with me? Just can't do
They'll
it, eh?
just yeah,
Just
I'm
need to build
sorry.
a second rig beside me. Just take out the steering wheel from the second rig beside me. It's
Your
fine.
how big do you want your monitors to be, honestly? Because to replace windshields.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
it's gonna
good.
be bad.
So a total purse of about $15,000. Now purse is actually the first time. This is the first time that I've heard the term purse used for prize pool.
Oh. See, and
It,
this is where iRacing differs again. It's
yeah.
not really I like it's a simulation. I would consider a simulation not a game, but
Hmm.
technically it is a game. So,
Well, they're
you know,
gamifying it. Yeah.
yeah, it's not really I mean, it can be called a prize, but it's also a purse, which is used in sports, right? So,
Well, I will say that it is fun to gamify things. I'm sure that iRacing, there's a bit of an easier parallel there, but for other things, it's not as easy. This is my transition into Pokemon. So this past weekend was Pokemon Day. A couple days before, they did a whole like Pokemon Direct where they revealed a bunch of different Pokemon games that were coming out. And me being in the competitive Pokemon space, I was looking at it like a with a okay, so what can I play competitively? Like that was the lens that I had on. So they to keep it short, they revealed Pokemon Snap. They revealed Diamond and Pearl remake. That's Gen
okay.
4. And then they revealed something else. Pokemon Legends, which is the
Right.
first like Pokemon based RPG. Not RPG, the first like open world RPG, I should say.
Very inspired by another game, starts with a Z, ends in Elda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, Taste of the Danforth. Yeah. Legend of Zelda: Taste of the Danforth. Yeah,
Uh,
so they definitely took inspiration from that, which is fine. Like that's
no, it
kind of what I was
looks
hoping.
amazing.
Yeah, everybody needs to make a Breath of the Wild. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, yeah, I was looking at that through like a what can I play competitive lens, and me and my friend Kevin, we were we had decided that Pokemon Snap is probably going to be the easiest to play competitively, and this is tying it
Interesting.
back to gamifying things. So if you have another friend, then you can just go into Pokemon Snap right now. You can play the N64 version right now if you want, and just race to see who can take enough pictures of enough Pokemon, who can catch more, who can take more pictures in an hour of playing Pokemon Snap. That is my
Okay,
game.
okay.
Uh,
Interesting.
it doesn't look like Diamond and Pearl will be very good competitively. Uh,
They're remakes
we'll
though,
see. Yeah, the
but
last remake was okay for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That one was competitive enough because they were still in a phase of like pushing the envelope and like trying to make like the 3DS really good and really cool. So they were developing
mm,
new things, and plus Game Freak was still working on this. But Game Freak is kind of taking a minor role in the new remakes. They're passing it off to the people who did Pokemon Home.
oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I
Oh
mean,
man.
we'll see
Is
how that goes. Yeah.
Do you know how Pokemon Snap works now? It's still based off of points, for like how difficult pictures you can get, anything along those lines?
They haven't talked too much about it. They've just shown what it looks like, and honestly, it looks beautiful. Oh my gosh, that game looks beautiful. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think my number one priority is going to be gamifying that, trying to see if I can, you know,
Okay, so
compete in that at all.
the one Pokemon Snap story that I have is not my story actually. I'm
Okay.
gonna retell one from if anyone knows Sir Action Slacks from the Dota 2
Oh
community.
yeah.
He's I don't know, a bit of everything. He's a very, very big sort of well-known figure in Dota. He does like casting, he creates content, all sorts of things.
Okay.
So when he was a kid and Pokemon Snap came out, he there you know on the Nintendo Power magazines and stuff like that at the time, they had a contest where you would submit the best Pokemon Snap picture that you can submit, and whoever got the most points in that one picture won an African safari, like a
Ah.
real African safari, so like a real life Pokemon adventure type situation. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so he was like super stoked and everything, and so he took this picture, and he's like, "This is a great picture. It's worth a lot of points, whatever." And he tells his dad, "You got to send this in for me. There's this contest, and I'm gonna win an African safari." So he's like, "Okay, okay." Later, the winners are announced, and he doesn't win.
Oh no.
So The winners were actually the exact same picture that he took. This was the picture that gets the absolute most points.
Okay.
And it listed off all of these people, and he wasn't there. And he was like, "What the heck?" Like, and so he goes to talk to his dad, and he's like, "What happened with my submission? How come I didn't win? Whatever." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't think you were gonna win that, so I didn't even send it in."
No.
But at one point, he was the best Pokemon Snap player, one of the world's best Pokemon Snap players, right? And so
Whoa.
when I think about that, I'm like, you can turn it competitive. If you can be the best at something, it's competitive.
Mm-hmm.
There
Well,
you
I
go.
mean, this is huge for like the speed running community. Like
Right, right.
those are famously the people that practice incredibly hard at speed running things. Right now, I'm personally addicted to watching Hades speed runs. Oh my
Mm.
gosh, they're so much fun to watch. Hades is such a brilliant game.
I I can't get into speed runs. I don't
Ah,
know.
you just haven't found the right one yet, my friend.
Is that what it is?
You haven't
I
found the
mean,
right one.
the game itself, like, I want to go through the game as is, but a lot of the speed runs, they use some things that cut out large portions of the game,
Yes.
and I guess if I were to watch a speed run, I would look at more of the traditional, like you have to play the full game. How fast can you do it? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Like
Then you go through the
there
whole
are
game.
kind of two ways that you can go about it, right? Either the like frame perfect, like get through the game as fast as possible, or use whatever cheats and like wall clipping
Bugs,
that you possibly can.
glitches,
Yeah, bugs and
anything.
glitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it's a different strokes for different folks. Uh,
I mean, there's also two different buckets in if it's emulated or not, right? So I thought this was all really interesting stuff
mm,
about how it's separated because an emulation might not play the exact same way as the console, so you get some slight differences.
Facts.
So there's a high score for emulation and for the actual original game.
Well, I know
Yeah.
for Hades right now, the only people speedrunning it are people playing it on the PC.
Okay.
Well, that's not exactly true, but anyway, there's the PC and then the Switch version. But the Switch version is much harder to speed run just because you don't have as much range of motion, you don't have as much control over the buttons that you're pressing. You can press multiple buttons when you're on a keyboard and just kind of face roll your way through. But
Right.
on a Switch, you only have the four buttons on the Joy-Con plus the joystick. So yeah, I mean, console definitely plays a big part into it. We went off on a major tangent on that, but I love that.
Yes.
Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Unite. Us Canadians, we got that a few days ago. Uh, and I have been playing enough of it to say that I've been playing a lot, not enough to say that I've been playing too much. I think I've been playing
Like your
maybe,
threshold for too much, it might be a little bit higher than others, but
maybe. I play maybe 5 to 10 games a day,
Oh, that's
which,
not bad.
yeah. Because like each game is
They're
about 10
10-minute
minutes
games.
long, you
It's
know.
exactly 10 minutes long.
Yeah, that's true. Plus or minus waiting time, plus waiting time.
Right.
So you're spending like either 1 to 2 hours on that game with just 5 to 10.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
play I play a couple Underlords games, and each one lasts me like half an hour or so.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
exactly. So how have you been enjoying Pokemon Unite? How much have you played first off?
Okay, so I've made it through the tutorials,
Okay.
and I have played 2 games. So
Okay.
I played one tutorial game, which they forced me to do, and it was,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I played 2 other games matches online, and I won them both. I'm happy to say.
Nice.
So
Good.
I'm 100% win rate. The game looks really good. It's a lot of fun. I
Mhm.
think it's yeah, it's a fun little game. And I love the sort of dunking aspect of
Mhm.
it, dunking the points. It's a unique little spin on MOBAs where you don't actually destroy towers.
Yes.
Um, and
You
I
dunk
actually
on
like
those
that spin.
towers, yeah.
Yeah. I like that spin. My biggest beef with it is the mobile controls, which you can't do anything about. It's a mobile game. You can
Right.
obviously hook up another controller, but if it's going to be a mobile game, that's where you're going to play it, and that's the way it's going to be. So
Yeah, and I mean there are those controllers kind of built for phones, which I'm curious if they even work on Unite or if there's any plans on making it work in Unite.
I'm sure those will work on Unite because it just
Mhm.
puts a little joystick on top of where your thumb would be anyways and just moves it around, right?
Oh.
So like it'll work on any phone. It works on touchscreens, right? So yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I should actually investigate that. Like I kind of want to, attach one of those, see what I can do with that. Because I've never played a no, that's not true. No. So I was about to completely contradict the point that I was going to make about Pokemon Unite. I have played another mobile game, also by Tencent, also by the people who made Pokemon Unite. Played it both on mobile and for Switch, so it kind of feels like this was their first attempt at what would be Pokemon Unite. But I did play Arena of Valor. Arena of Valor
Right.
is well, when they first dropped the Pokemon Home trailer, it looked exactly like Arena of Valor. I highly recommend that you look at that first
Side to
Pokemon
side,
Unite
like
trailer, compare it
okay.
to what we've been playing with, and try and spot any similarity. Because I guarantee you, I haven't done it yet. I guarantee you, they look nothing alike. Because
Wait.
when I first saw it, I was like, oh no, this is a reskin of Arena of Valor. And everybody was like blown away. Everyone was like, oh, finally, a Pokemon MOBA. I'm so excited. I was not. I was absolutely not excited. Now that I played a couple games, it looks like they've tweaked it enough that it's a different game entirely.
It doesn't feel the same.
No.
It is a different game. And I think it's really also like the sort of the tracking when you go around each other and how you stay attacking each other, or
Mm-hmm.
it'll attack the nearest units and stuff like that. Was Arena of Valor like that as well?
No, not that I can
Yeah.
remember. No.
So yeah, that was a unique feature that I was like, oh, this actually works. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
My few gripes with the game, I feel like there's no strong set of comeback mechanics. I feel like
Definitely not.
if your
Definitely
team
not.
is losing hard, then it'll show you a nice little alert up top being like, we're losing real bad. And I guess you haven't experienced this yet because you've been playing winning games. But if your team is losing, it'll show you like, we're really struggling, I think is the actual words that it says.
Okay.
Um, but there's nothing to do about that. It's just like you
Right.
have these like level 14, level 15 Pokemon coming at you. 15 is the highest. And you're still like level 9, level 10. And you can't
And
do anything about it. It's like
yes.
they're just going to steamroll you for the rest of the game.
I noticed that where some of the characters on the opposing side were like some of the Pokemon. I think it was Lucario,
Yeah, okay.
and he was just rolling me, and I could not do anything about it. Luckily, the rest of my team was doing well, and we won the
Okay.
game. But like, I could not touch. Every time I saw him, I just ran away.
So you were the
Just
only baddie on your team.
no, 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 because everyone else went top, and it was me and him bottom.
Oh, no.
And it was just like it got out of hand, and it was like I couldn't do
Right.
anything anymore. So yeah,
Right. So what I believe we can say about this game, there are two lanes. There are only two lanes.
right,
Different than your typical MOBA, your 3-lane MOBA, your League of Legends, your Dota, what have you. There is a lot of jungle that is not particularly covered by one Pokemon. So again, it's 5-on-5. Most times people go like 3 up in the top lane, 2 down in the bottom lane, something like that. Maybe 3 in the bottom, 2 in the top. And then there are lots of little spots all over the map where you can go and fight Pokemon to go and level up. As you level up, you get your initial 3 skills, followed by 3 upgrades to the skills. Your Pokemon evolve as you play,
level up.
yeah, as you level up.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's fun. I have seen the term "baby's first MOBA" tossed around, and I would tend to agree. It's definitely not for the seasoned player, and that's okay.
I think that's okay.
Yeah,
I really do. MOBAs are hard, grueling games to get into, and it's okay to have something before that.
yeah. It's okay
Yeah,
to have some like little snack that you can play for 10 minutes. Uh, I think that this is a great pathway, by the way, to League of Legends Wild Rift. I think that Wild Rift is going to be significantly more complicated than Pokemon Unite, which may be why Pokemon Unite is pushing so hard right now to get into beta and get into the hands of people. Because once Wild Rift comes out, there's going to be major eyes on that. And so far, League hasn't really been dropping the ball when it comes to their new games. Lots of rumors going around from the East that Wild Rift is actually really good.
Yeah. It's well, honestly, Riot is making a huge push for mobile and console. Like
Yes.
they want to get out there. They're not just PC anymore. They want to branch out into other games. There's rumors that Valorant is going mobile. So that's another thing. So there were some leaks that people found in the code and things like that that point to Valorant
Wow.
going mobile. And that doesn't mean it's coming anytime soon or anything, but that's you're gonna look at like PUBG and other shooters like that are on mobile and doing well. Why wouldn't you want to be there? So
100%. 100%. I mean, there's a lot more Valorant advertising out there right now. They're
yeah.
really, really, really pushing Valorant. So I mean, I'm excited to see what happens with that, but in terms of staying power, I don't feel like Pokemon Unite will have a particularly large competitive presence. I think that it's almost always going to be a like, I have 10 minutes to spare, so maybe I'll play a Pokemon Unite game. Yeah, I do not see this one being a competitive esport, but we'll see. I mean, hey, I've been wrong before. Not often, but I've been wrong before.
Mike, which Pokemon did you choose?
I chose Talonflame
Okay,
as
okay.
my first one, but they're so ready to just give you all these Pokemon every day. Like
Oh,
I
really?
unlock
Okay.
like maybe 5 to 6 every day, and it is really cool, by the way, how they've developed so many Pokemon for this game, like so
They're
many working Pokemon.
the good thing about it is they're unique too.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that maybe they're reskins and they're just, whatever, they're all kind of similar. They're different Pokemon, so
Yeah.
it's cool to see. Yeah.
Who did you start with?
Take a guess.
You Pikachu.
No,
No,
Charmander.
Charmander. Charmander. Yeah, of course, of course. Right. No, actually,
Yeah.
I would have thought that you would have done Bulbasaur.
No. So,
That's kind of
yeah,
your
when
jam.
when we sort of started our very early gaming careers with me and my friends, we were always the Pokemon crew and just all picked a Pokemon, and we had like Metapods and Cubones and like Snorlaxes, like all kind, like we had so many. But because we were the first in, we got first pick. So I took the Charmander. My brother took Bulbasaur. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, there
okay.
you go.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Um, I don't particularly have favorites right now. I'm experimenting with Venusaur. I'm
Mm.
experimenting with Ninetales, and those are fun. I don't like Machamp. Champ doesn't seem like a very fun
So okay,
pick to
I
me.
noticed some difficulty ratings on these Pokemon. Like
Yeah,
how
I'm
accurate is this?
not particularly sure what the major differences are between an intermediate Pokemon and an expert Pokemon. For example, they have Gengar listed as an expert, which is hard to wrap my head around because as I play, like there's a lot of effects that they do, but they don't do a lot of damage, which screams to me that it's more of a utility Pokemon.
Right.
But utility doesn't necessarily require a high amount of skill. It just means that you're weaker and need to be around other people to actually make that work. And if that's how they're gauging their difficulties, like how much team play do you need to do, then I guess that's fair.
Well, that's a thing. How much can you do it alone, or do you need some sort of, jump through hoops to make it work?
Yeah.
And yeah, that
Like I
makes
feel
sense to
like the
me.
difficulty rating doesn't necessarily need to be there, and there just needs to be more focus on showing what the roles of
Role
the
is,
Pokemon are. So
yeah.
tell me more clearly if a Pokemon is an attacker or a defender or a utility. I don't even think they have it. No, they have a support class. but I think it's only attack, defense, support, and all rounder. And
All
all
rounder,
rounder
yeah.
is it's not a that's not a classification. You don't.
Charmander is an all rounder.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh boy, I could talk about this for years.
Yeah,
Let's Yeah, you know what? Let's take a break. This has been
yeah,
fine. When we come back, we're going to be
this has
talking
been
about
fine,
this
just
has been
fine.
fine. When we come back, we're going to be talking real quick about the League of Legends, the LCS import rule that's been going on. I wanna bring it back to the new fiscal year that I was talking about, and then Alex has some more tricks and tips and tricks for you. So we will do all that when we come back from the break. And hi, Poke Sports is in the chat. All arounder. Yeah, that's no, it's an all
All
dash
arounder.
rounder.
Oh,
This
okay.
is like all round.
Round.
Yeah, that's
Oh
Kevin over
man,
there. Hey, Kevin.
how's it going, Kevin?
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
so I didn't get my Brio.
No,
So
yeah,
I
I was
yeah,
gonna
I
ask.
canceled it.
Yeah,
And yeah, so Amuka was like, "Yeah, yeah, we'll grab one of those," and then whatever. And then they were like, "Actually, let's see if you're gonna up the quality, why not use the 4K cameras from Waves? And like if you're gonna upgrade, like you might as well just." And I was like, "Ugh, all right."
that's amazing. Okay.
So we'll see how all that goes.
Uh huh.
We'll see what my space permits and everything. But hopefully by next week I should definitely have a new camera set up here. So
Amazing.
it's yeah.
Amazing. That's so cool. You got another one of those for me?
Yeah, if you want to borrow it and bring it back every time.
Every time?
Every time.
No. I'll borrow it. I just won't bring it back every time.
No, you got a great camera though. Your
I
camera looks
know.
great.
I know I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, cool. So let's bring it back. Let's talk about lol and money and tricks. Tricks are for kids. And we're back. Welcome back to Best of Three with just us two. Now, League of Legends. League of Legends. League of Legends. We mentioned
The
that
LCS.
Riot.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh,
What
what was that?
happened to me? We mentioned that Riot has been killing it lately. One thing that they've been killing it on, as always, as has been for the past couple years, is their esports side. Their competitions are usually great. They're usually high production, high quality. Uh, Commentators are usually fantastic. One thing that people don't particularly like right now, and one thing that people are trying to push to get a wider lens on, is the LCS's import rules. So,
Yeah.
Alex, tell us a little bit about the current LCS import rules.
Currently, so the LCS is the North American League of Legends
Yeah.
Championship Series. So we're talking about North America here. And currently, you can only have two foreign players on your roster. So the rest of them have to be from NA, or you have to straight up get them to move to NA and live there as a resident, and then they will be, from NA.
Mm-hmm.
So these are sort of your options, but generally, two is not a lot, is what the argument is. So we have Jack Etienne from Cloud9, a very vocal, the org owner of Cloud9, very vocal for getting rid of this rule. He's like, two players is not enough.
Right.
Like, we need to be able to import freely, um, and to be able to compete at a global level. And as some of you may know, if you're following sort of League of Legends and Worlds and everything, the North America is not performing well on the international stage.
No, they're not.
They're doing terribly, and there's a big push from org owners to be like, hey, we need that international talent that is better to keep us competitive, or our fans, our viewership is going to decline, and the NALCS will be no more. It's going to shrivel up and die. That's the argument there. So you have Jack Etienne from Cloud9 and Reginald from TSM, like really really pushing to get rid of these rules. But there's from the fan perspective and from some other perspectives, there's a lot of people who want to keep the rule in place.
Right.
You know, um, do we really want to see a bunch of imported, European or Asian talent over here, just sort of recycled? And it's, like we don't have like fans want to see homegrown talent. They want
Hmm.
to see, hey, I know that guy. He's from my country, from my city, maybe even, or my region, and I really want to root for this guy. And we are NA. You know, and we've talked about this before on the podcast to a certain extent, and just how development lags so far behind in North America. And clearly, these org owners are seeing that the development structure is behind, and that they think the best way out of this is to be able to bypass that development and import their players. So
I'm still on the fence. I don't know if I was on the fence the last time we were talking about this, but I'm definitely on the
mm,
fence about it. I see the issue. I also see the the reason that it is the way that it is. Like, cuz it's as you say, people want to be cheering for their home country. Now, does that mean that if a country is North American based, is that enough pride if you have people from outside of North America playing in it, playing on behalf of it? Uh,
right.
I don't know. If there was some kind of way of trading players, like exchanging players, something like that, like, is that enough to
Mm.
kind of diversify the global scene of the LCS? I don't know. Um, I feel like, yes, our ability to grow home talent is lacking here compared to other places in the world, but
Right.
I don't know if we can necessarily change that.
You don't think? And my biggest worry with this, if we get rid of this rule, we as an NA will never develop talent here.
Right.
We're kissing that goodbye, and I think the beauty of the import rule is what it is.
Mm.
Like each region has their own championship, and the winners of those regions go on to play worlds, and that's how it's designed. It shows where in the world the best players are. And if we want to compete there, we need to develop our players and improve our skills so that we can match that level, not be able to import. I think it defeats the purpose of the entire League of Legends sort of tournament structure.
Now, should they try to offer a like a second global tournament, like one where kind of anybody could join? Is that overkill? Is that too much? I don't know. Like,
No, I don't think that's necessary, right?
mm,
You prove you're the best in your region, and then you go on to prove that you're the best out of all the regions.
yeah.
And that's a fair structure. If you have some sort of open tournament that's global and all this, you're sort of putting to waste all that structure that you
Mm-hmm.
you worked so hard to get in place. You're sort of bypassing all that, and I think you went that route, and you should commit to that route.
That's fair.
You know?
Now,
Yeah.
here's my question though. Do you think that this conversation is only being had now, or is only being brought to light because of the fact that everybody, well, not everybody, but a larger amount of people are doing most of their practicing from home on kind of the internet global scale? You can kind of speak with anybody right now. You're not able to be in your gaming houses, or at least interacting with other people in their gaming houses. You're only playing on the NA servers or the EU servers to practice against them, or the Korea servers, the Asia servers, APAC servers to play against them. Um, there's less in house right now.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
is the emphasis on being in house lessened?
I would have thought it would have gone the other way after everyone experienced the the I don't know, just
The
like
homening.
how difficult internet sort of play is, right? Because
Mm,
somebody somewhere is going to experience ping. If you have one player that's in Europe and like, the rest of you are in NA and you're playing on NA servers, that guy's going to experience ping. And if you're playing against somebody who, a team that's based in Japan and, Germany or something, that could be a whole other thing. And like,
that's true. There was a
um,
lot of travel involved with all these players before, and now that that's not happening, more at home play is being.
yeah. So like, and gamers, honestly, they hate lag. I would
Yeah.
have thought they would have experienced some of that lag and been like, "No, we need to really be together and get I want to get back to boot camps and in-houses and LAN play and all of this." But
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe they stayed home and they were like, "Hey, I'm home. Let's never leave again."
More or less. Well, now everybody wants to bring everybody else to them, and that's why
Right.
this import rule is a big issue. Now, again, like this is kind of all being talked about because we're entering into a new fiscal year. Our year has finished, obviously finished in at the end of December. We started 2021. Welcome, but tax season is very much a thing for the online, the esports community, the streaming community, the competitive scene. Everybody is affected by taxes. So
Often overlooked, very important aspect. So,
yes, and that is one of the reasons that even right now there is not much happening by way of competitions. There's not much happening by way of prizing and anything that has to do with money changing hands, because right now everybody's kind of counting their dollars and giving off what they
reviewing.
need to. Now is a time where you will see a lot more streamers do their charity streams, because as good as it is for their charities, it is also a tax write off. So uh, it's a major thing for a lot of people. I think one thing that this means for orgs is that this is the time that they're signing a lot of people. They're starting their next year. They're trying to figure out where to allocate next year's funds, what to do with it. So around March, around April, you're going to be seeing a lot more, people being signed to different teams, and that might even be something that we'd want to speak to about players joining certain teams and what this kind of means for the esports community. What it means for businesses too. Like, you're going to see a lot more of the Shopify's or the, I believe there was a Green Bay Packers
Oh,
person who created a team. You know about this?
yes. I read a headline. I can't quite recall though.
Valdez Scantling
Yes, Valdez.
partnered with SubNation and created an esports team.
Tell
So
me, why is this happening? Why is this happening, Mike?
taxes. It's all taxes. Uh,
So people are using esports as a way to, as tax incentives and like loopholes. How is this?
I don't
How
want to
is
go
this
that
happening?
far. I don't want to go that far. They're they're not using it as a reason to create an actual org, but it's
Yeah,
definitely like a time where
could
the
happen.
the money has been all on the table, and they know how much they have going into the next year. So they're like, okay, so what do I have to play with? What can I go and do this year that'll be different than last year? So we've got people like Marquez Valdez Scantling putting together his own team, under the reasoning of video games having been a hobby and an outlet. So I want to go and help other people to explore that as well. But I don't know. It's all just for the fun.
Yeah, I mean, you even see like Cardi B and Migos and the whole like their whole label got into Xset. So
Huh?
there's some Yeah,
Huh?
do you know Quality Control?
No.
Quality Control is Migos's label. I
Yes.
believe Cardi B's on there as well. Yeah, so
Okay.
um yeah, Quality Control has invested an unspecified amount in Xset. So there's no real details there, but yeah.
I want to see Cardi B on an interview talking about an esports team. That's what I want to see out of my 2021.
I want to see Cardi B hosting an esports event. That
Yes.
would be ridiculous
I want
and
to see her
incredible.
commentating.
Ooh, imagine like Migo, you got Quavo and Offset just like casting a
Yes.
like a fighter match or something. Like
Oh
what?
my gosh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? I didn't think that I needed that, but I think I actually need it.
Oh yeah, they can freestyle it too. So you know.
Why not? Why not? Love that. But yeah, so we're going to see a lot more. Like we mentioned last week, Shopify with the Shopify Rebellion with their StarCraft team. Um, that will continue to develop, of course, I'm sure, as will many other businesses. So that's going to be exciting
With
to
new
see.
ventures, new projects are gonna kick off.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then everybody competes during the summer, and that's just kind of how esports season works.
there's the cycle.
Yep. Things finish up around October, November. Everyone takes a Christmas break, and then they do their taxes in the new year, and it all starts again. The practice season is between now and like June. We've got like some, I don't know, like you and I, we would go to like some conventions and stuff in like May, I feel like, right?
Oh yeah, but they weren't super competitive
Right.
events or anything like that.
They weren't like the headlines.
Exactly. The headlines happen in the summer,
Yeah.
closer to, maybe like when the school year starts, something like that.
Yeah. Those were the days that we go into the super like air conditioned convention center, wear our sweaters, and we go outside and it's like blazing hot. And we're like, I hate everything. Just take off the sweater. That's what it
Oh,
is.
yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
I miss those days. I miss them. Oh, it was hard work. We were running around, we were sweating, but like, oh, I really miss those days. And I miss seeing all the people that I I clearly need to be better about communicating with the people in my life, but just some people that I haven't talked to in a really long time that
Yeah.
normally I'd see on a regular basis. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, same here. Same here. I think everybody's kind of like that. There was a big focus on, figure out your own stuff at home because your whole life is changing. So friends, get back to your friends in a little bit, but also make sure you're good. And so now I feel like a lot of people are coming out of that and they're like, oh, there are a lot of people that I haven't really been interacting with for a long
Mm,
time, and now I
yeah,
need
yeah.
to. Um, all right,
Stuff.
let's real quick go into some quick tips and tricks before we say goodbye. Alex, you have been playing some Apex Legends.
Yes. So as some of you may know, I got into Apex Legends recently, and honestly, I'm not a shooter. I'm not an FPS player. I'm not a BR player. Like I've played a little bit here and there, played some CS:GO like way back in the day, but really I just played a bunch of Ice World and Op Map. Um, you know, very casual stuff. So making the transition from Dota, which is a very, very different type of game, um, I sort of decided to dive into it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I replaced my mouse to an FPS mouse. So if, ooh, do I want to show this here? So
Talk about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah. So I got the Model D, Glorious Model D, and it's one of those sort of mice with a lot of holes in it, and it's
yeah.
super light, feels like nothing. But the shape is great. It's smaller, and I actually with a lot of mouse movement in the FPS, you have to pick up your mouse a lot and move it. I found that my old mouse was way too heavy. It was an MMO mouse with like 16 buttons on it, and it was massive and killing my pinky. So,
Right. I'm starting to notice that too
oh
with
man,
like the big programmable mice.
yeah,
Those were really just like specifically meant for MMOs. Like even in not even well yeah RTS and other MOBA games too. Like I don't need most of this mouse. I can just get rid of this mouse and get something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit more light, a little bit like less greasy on my hands after a while, you know?
and I sweat when I play, but these holes actually do help to keep my hand a little bit less sweaty. It
Mm.
really is a thing. Just yeah, I focused a lot on the mouse and sort of all the mouse movements because that was the thing that just like was so different for me.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of streams of FPSs, battle royales, and stuff, so I was okay sort of in a game sense scenario,
Hmm.
but the actual movements and mechanics of it was tough. So this is where we get to. I was like, Aim Lab. I saw a girl on TikTok,
Okay.
and she was using an aim trainer, and it showed her progress over 2 months of using this aim trainer. When she started, it looked like she was typing with two fingers. Like by the
Oh.
end of it, she was like typing. You know what I mean? Like not like super fast, but she was typing with all 10 fingers. You know what I mean? Um, you
So
you
an
could really
an
see
aim
how much
trainer?
improvement. Yes, aim trainers. So have you heard of Aim Lab before?
I've heard of it, but please explain it.
Aim Lab is another one of these games that I will call like more of a simulator or a trainer. Um, so it is a program where you first I guess to mention is it's in very very early beta and you get like this huge warning at the beginning that says there's going to be game breaking bugs or whatever. Sorry about that. Report some bugs. But it is one of the most popular aim trainers out right now and still very, very early into development. Reason being, I think, when you load into the game, you get to choose your game and all of the settings from that game appear exactly as is from that game. So the
Whoa.
sensitivity from, like Apex Legends won't be the same as CSGO or whatever else. And so it actually gives you the settings from that game so that you can match it exactly and practice as you should. And one of the most important things I learned is muscle memory, super important. And if you don't have the exact same settings, it's not going to work for you. You're going to practice an aim lab with something else and then go into Apex and it's going to be off.
Hmm.
So that was really cool.
So, what is the you
Yes.
made the comparison to typing with two fingers to typing with
So
10.
you load up, for example, a stage where there's pretty much balloons, and then you
Uh-huh.
shoot it, it pops, another balloon appears, and you just go and you shoot all the balloons. And you just gotta go around and do it as quickly as you can, try not to miss. And if you take too long, you don't get to hit that balloon,
Yeah.
right? And there's a bunch of different variations of this. There's one of the ones that I found out was worse was tracking. So they had a little ball and it would move and like a head and it would
Hmm.
strafe
Hmm.
side to side and you would just all you have to do is put your mouse and follow the head. You don't have to
Oh, okay,
click, you don't
okay.
have to do anything. And I did that and I think I was like sub 30% of the time I was actually on the ball.
Wow.
But
Okay,
this
okay.
type of stuff trains there's things that train your actual flicking, train your precision, sort of your decision making. So like, do you need to shoot the red one or the blue one? These types of scenarios. Yeah, and just all of these mechanics that I didn't really know about. But the great part about it is it breaks it all up into sections, and you can do all the exercises, some of the exercises in each section, and it rates you. And
Does it? It rates does it rate
yes,
you over time?
it rates you. However, it's a data collecting machine.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that. I like
yeah.
the numbers.
So you can see all kinds of data, how you do in a specific category, how you've grown, lifetime, whatever it is. And it's really, really cool the stuff that they've integrated in there because with that data you can now go to teams. You
Mm-hmm.
can be, hey, this is literally how good I am. And what I saw in there, they have an events tab that has combines and skill challenges and sort of these types of things. So teams maybe can actually come and scout talent on here. There's also a leaderboard, right? So oh, I'm number one on AIM Labs, like sign me to your org.
Right.
You know what I mean? It really becomes not just a trainer, but a tool to get you out there, hopefully when it's fully developed.
That's super, and that's been out for a little while, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I remember in our last convention that we went to, one of the booths that we went by, were they using aim labs? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Definitely. There's a ton of great aim trainers out there. There's some that are web-based. There's a bunch that are free.
Oh,
Aim Lab is free on Steam. I found some other ones on Steam that were free as well that I've tried. So I'm not sure if it was that one specifically, but
but
yeah.
they're good. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And no, I can totally appreciate that, because that's something that exists in sports as well. The whole mental performance, mental physical, like the way that your brain communicates with the things that execute your commands. It is something that is used everywhere. You can apply it to all facets of your life, not just Apex. I mean, it's great that they create settings that mimic Apex or Fortnite or any of the other shooters, or an array of other shooters. But like tracking is 100% an FPS thing. It's also 100% a like a hockey thing or a baseball thing. And like there are athletes who will go to these kind of coaches or these kind of services to almost play these games in order to develop their skills like that.
It's incredible just the amount and the potential that I saw in this quote unquote free game.
Yes.
There's so many things that it does, and I was also curious. I don't play ranked Apex, so I was
Really?
curious where I'd rank at. I filled out all the things, and it actually tells you where you'd rank in the game you chose. So it told me I would be gold 1 in Apex. So
I want you to try and hit gold 1 and make that happen for yourself.
we'll see. I don't know. Ranked seems like it's a little bit of a commitment, but we'll see as I progress my aiming and everything if I dive into that. But
Well,
yes,
there you go. There you go.
yeah.
All right. Well, I think with that, let's call this a podcast. This has been fun. This has been really fun to chat with you about this. So what did we talk about today? We talked about HPM in their E-Racer Carnomaly 500. Is that going on like legit right now?
Right now, go check it out.
Ooh,
It's on Amuka Esports' Facebook page, so you can find that there.
there you go. $15,000 total purse. We talked about Pokemon Unite. We talked about all kinds of Pokemon games. We are just all about the Pokemon. Talked about LCS's import rules and the new fiscal year. And of course, Alex's tips and tricks on Apex was really fun. So I want to thank you all for listening. Alex, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Crispy Kim. That's Crispy with a K. And yeah, I just want to say, with the LOL import rule and everything coming out, and with me using AIM Labs, let's develop our skills.
Ooh,
Focus on development. Let's not try to import our talent. Let's all just work to get a little bit better. I'm doing it myself, and you guys can do it too, and we can
NA's
all
got to
do it
get up
together.
there. Let's
Exactly.
do it, NA. Come on. Step up your game. And then, of course, you can find me anywhere you find your people at Still Just Mike. You can find the podcast at Best of Three, anywhere you find your podcasts, or on the Game Plus network. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
And before we go, of course, I do want to also mention that you can find us on the Bolt Plus, on the Bolt Plus app, download for free on Google